And Nouns just love that cycle of plus minus plus minus plus minus. It's like also to really take it back, plus Chris J minus Chris J. Except
Ooh.
there's 3 players that are all cycling in and out, and I think that's kind of kept some sort of stability within Nouns. Although, how are the teams going? How are the players going to react with the egos coming back in after everything? We'll have to find out. Their first match with Cynic kicking off here on Anubis in the IEM Sydney North American closed qualifier. Again, Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the call. M80 on the CT side. Nouns electing to start on the offense. And I do quite like this call. Carson has the utility. Cynic has a Raid Boss P250. And Rex taking the E-Box fight has a teammate right next to him. That could have gotten ugly if the body block came through, but no casualties just yet for the CT side, and no contact either with a good amount of mid-control, and down goes MarKE. It's Malbs instead of Manx to get the open.
Very solid start. That compels Nouns into the site now, and it's a firing squad and a half. Swisher on the site, Wreck on the platform, and Mob is already quick on that flank as we saw towards the middle. It's a succinct sum up of a round and a convincing one in M80's favor. 1-0 start, flawless one at that. 2 for the Star Fragger, as we mentioned, in Malbs, 1 for Swisher, and a pair for Wreck on the plat.
That's a solid hold there for M80. They struggled on the pistol rounds over a couple nights ago, and it's good to see them kicking it off with a very fiery start, hitting all the headshots. MP9 on Manx to farm some money, rifles on the rest, including a pair of FAMASs. Glocks only for Nouns, not even a bit of utility. So this round should end in futility unless they can get wrecked down early. He is solo holding the A site, so there is a bit of a vulnerability towards that direction. But nobody going in just yet for the T side. A very slow start for Nouns on this Glock round.
They're hoping for some more aggression. We saw it in the round prior. Mobs just racing down middle with teammates in tow. They're hoping for more of the same. They're hoping they get foolhardy and confident, but M80, they've been in the trenches. They've been grinding, and they know that this closed qualifier is a very big opportunity. Keep in mind, there's only 4 teams left at this point, and one of those 4 teams will win this closed qualifier and proceed on into IEM Sydney. So a lot is on the line. It's not elimination yet. It's a double elimination bracket, but starting things off right with the best foot forward is, of course, the best course of action. 2 players found thus far. No kills in response from Nouns. Can't really expect much from the Glocks. Malbs, 1 and 2 from E-Box. It leaves just CJ. It's alone, no bomb, and no life to speak of either. Swisher from above takes him down through the hole in middle. It is a quick second on the board for M80, who are yet to lose a single player.
2 rounds, no casualties is a good stat, but it's not going to last forever. I'd be surprised if it lasts through the first 20 seconds of this round. Buy is up here for Nouns. AKs are in plenty, but utility is sparse. And Nate, they only have 1 flashbang. 1 flashbang to enter into a site. Plenty of Molotovs, plenty of smokes. Only 1 flash. That is something that concerns me. Flashes are so important. Utility, oh, it's an aggressive fight from Malbs. He gets bailed out by Wreck, tosses in the nade, which will do no damage, but that's the opening pick. Swisher gets the timing right. I thought he was going to get caught there, but he gets back, reacquires his target, and CJ goes down. Now he just isolates the dude towards the door. Cynic walking in, and he falls to the FAMAS as well. No casualties yet for M80, and 3 gone in round 3 for Nouns.
Logs, we're 40 seconds in, or thereabouts, and we still have no casualties from M80. The aggression from Malbs very nearly does him in, but I love the spacing, and I love the support as well coming in from Wreck. Close behind him, finding the kill, finding the opening. And of course, Swisher holding stalwart in some nice off angles towards the middle as well. Good timing from him. Malbs readjusting over towards A, holds the stairs. I like the headshot angle, but he can't quite get the kill. Rifle is not a one-shot headshot. Swisher instead will cap off the round with a 4K. Dropping the gun over to his teammate as well so they can get some AK upgrades. Very clean start for M80 as they have yet to let a bomb plant through.
1 death through 3 rounds. That's a very nice start for M80. Malbs, he almost got the double dink there too. That probably would have made it so. There was another flawless round, but Nouns are on the half buy this time. Tech 9s across the board, armor on 4. CJ going for a bit more utility instead of the best. Smoking a Molotov there. I feel like the lack of flashbangs hurt Nouns too, because they couldn't really gain any space towards a site. They get pushed in, yes, and then what can they do to regain space? they have to dry fight. That's just not going to work very well against the players the caliber of M80. And now Wolfy has the op too. Manx is still on the MP9. Flash out. That's how you use a flashbang. In comes a push. It's 2 for the players. Make it 3. Pushing out through main. Double M for M80. Malbs and Manx make it 3 apiece. Well, Wolfy's going to chime in with his op towards E-Box. Cynic, can he get one constant frag? Swisher's on the flank. And he'll make sure it's not. 1 death through 4 rounds for M80 on the CT side.
Keep in mind, Nouns wanted to start on the T side. Really does not paint a pretty picture going forward. I want to say M80, they're aggressive. It's not even mid-round. It's earlier than mid-round. They're aggressive calls, pressing out of choke points, pushing towards where Nouns are likely setting up for an execute. They're making Nouns uncomfortable, and more importantly, they're making the IGL, the newly fledged IGL in Carson, uncomfortable. He can't just make calls. He has to be more proactive. He has to be more ready to adjust. And so these early plays from M80 are really working out thus far. I say that though, and we have an aggressive play from Nouns, a new change of pace towards the middle. It's chaos, but it does favor the T side now as they begin to pressure and pincer in towards this A site. Wreck on the platform tries to do his best from backside, but he's caught through the smoke by MarKE. bwills goes 1 for 1 in middle, and at least just the star rifler. Malbs, we hyped him up at the start of the map, but in a 1 versus 3 with now 13 HP, it seems like this round is not possible. He's going to go and look for that op, probably drive it toward the middle, but will he get away is the question. MarKE's already beginning to hunt in his direction.
I hazard my guess as a no, but we'll see if he can get through here. Long time to stay alive as it ticks lower and lower. Good first round for Nouns, although I don't know if it's necessarily a replicable round. Oh, is Carson going to go for it? Is he going to go for the knife? I think he's going to go for it. Is he going to get there, though?
No, I don't think so. Gotta go. Yeah.
No op.
No, he didn't go. It's interesting. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't hate it either. Anubis is a map where the T-side op can be a little bit difficult. And Cynic, even though he was an opper, he wasn't an opper when Anubis was in the pool. So
no,
probably not going to be too comfortable opping on this map. And given the aggression from M80, Nouns probably want to play a more aggressive T-side anyway. So lends itself to a sniperless composition.
Also, let Cynic get a little more activated. Swisher's so good on those spams through mid. Cynic is gone without able to fire a single shot. In comes Wreck towards sight. He'll take down the in-game leader for now. Molotov in to flush him out of position. He'll dodge the flash and goes down to another one. MarKE so low on health, though, 11 HP. His rotation starting to come back to bolster the A site. Swisher moving his way in through heaven. Smoke down towards the window as MarKE clears out the angles. The bomb trailing in behind. HEs are there for M80 and MarKE vulnerable. Nade goes in. MarKE to 3. The bomb does go down to the ground. Downfall CJ though. MarKE the double. He pops it at the right time. Swisher plays whack-a-mole though and connects his shot. bwills 1v2. Mollied out of main. They seem to know exactly where he is.
I think he was spotted. He's trying his best to take some sort of cheeky angle, but as you can see, he really can't contest. He'll just spam instead. It does connect quite well, but Manx, making up for lost ground, finds the kill in response. Nouns, they do secure a second bomb plant in a row, but they don't get it across the line this time around. Regardless, they are making the right adjustments. They are at least gaining ground and looking better than they did in the early goings of this first map.
Yeah, definitely a good adjustment so far from Nouns. They're starting to get some activation going, especially after losing those first picks. 4 players down, too, is not going to be good for the M80 economy, which is getting quite low now. As a matter of fact, you might even start ringing the reset bell. Nouns, of course, don't really have much to play with either. Very critical swing around here. And Swisher not going to play too aggressive in mid this time. As I say that, he goes for a bit more of a spray, but he's still far removed from any real aggression so far. Is Wolfy holding deep canals? I think Wolfy's holding deep canal, and A pressure coming in. That cake molly perfectly smoked. Out goes the peak, though. Wreck traded out by Swisher. Who knows there's another one in turn. MarKE 2, dinked and then finished off by the body shot. Manx takes over mid control. CJ's burning. And Nouns, down the man, have only one place they can really go.
I like the call in mid, but CJ has a very narrow window. Back, as is his teammate. CJ, though, still good for one at least before falling. 3 versus 2. Trying to hold down back plat, has his teammate on the pillar, and Wolfy, he misses the first, but not the second. He will take him down, and now the last player locked behind the choke point. No chance for Cynic in that round. Wolfy finds that kill with the op as well, as the big green finally finds its footing for M80. 6-1. And we're back to no bomb plants for Nouns. That makes the economy incredibly uncomfortable. That gives M80 the opportunity to rebuild that CT economy that they lost in the last couple rounds.
3 alive is going to help that too. But for Nouns, they're going to go for a half buy. They could have gone all in, salvaged a force with some bwills, a little bit lighter on utility. They're going to go for the safe route. MarKE on a hero rifle, but he still has enough to buy in the next round. Manx already tagged down just over half. It's a good start for Nouns, but they have to build off of this here. You can't make a sentence with just nouns. They need verbs, adjectives, articles perhaps, maybe even some adverbs. There needs to be a little bit more for Nouns here. Ooh.
More variety.
I thought that would have done more damage.
Hoping, but those walls are thick. They're brick. It's not so easy
Would
to
there
pound
be
through.
sandstone if this is Egypt?
I don't know the lore bugs. You made the grammar joke when I had the Bachelor of Arts, okay? Stepping onto my turf. Speaking of stepping in, Nouns are in enemy territory. They're racing through the connector. Swish is only good for 1. The numbers overturn his position. And Rec as well similarly only finds 1 for 1. 3 versus 3. Bomb plant secured by a quick and aggressive play from Nouns once again. This retake's going to be a dicey one for M80. They have an op. It's less than ideal in this kind of situation. And 2 players now have rifles. MarKE finds 1 good trade from Wolf, but can he find the second? No is the answer. Carson with a Tech 9 races him down. And Manx on the long con flank now has no time and has no one to back him up. Nouns reading this well. They know exactly where he's coming from. Read like a book. Manx should head for the hills. Save this gun for the following because this round is an impossible scenario.
Nouns start to add a little bit more to their sentences here. They end it with an exclamation point too. The half buy works. That mid push catches the one off guard, and then they just spiral into a site take. Very good scaling forward from the T side, and that's going to force a tactical timeout out of M80. Let Def have a chance to talk things over with the boys. And how much do M80 want to invest into this round? Because they don't have a lot of money across the board, particularly looking at Swisher at 1,700. Manx can drop him, but Rec and Malbs are still not in great shape. Half buy time for the CT side, perhaps. And that could put them in a bit of a bind.
Good. I'm scared to know what they can do with Deagles and 5.7s, though, truly. Oh, never mind. That's not going to be the scenario. We're going to see some actual investments coming through. 2 A1Ss, 2 MP9s, and that AK. A decent bit of utility, not the full amount that you would hope for, but still enough to get the job done. And if M80 can hit the shots they were hitting earlier on in this game, it could be a very succinct round in their favor.
We'll see. There's aggression. Is that spotted by No, now he knows. The spray will reveal Manx's position. And Swisher takes a lot of damage on the mid fight, too. Not a good start here for M80. And it doesn't look like there's a chance to upgrade. No, there it goes. Malbs will go grab that AK. Much better in his hands than an MP9. Still, though, all this aggression for M80 and basically zero information aside from somebody at towards canals. Meanwhile... Go ahead.
Okay, that aggression comes with cost. They have next to no utility. A smoke and a Molotov, no kit, and they're a man down.
And they're going to be retaking A.
Again.
Or do they just save?
Probably save, realistic. They do have the kit. Wolfy did grab that. Also important to note, Cynic has finally got the big green in hand. And he was finally on the board, but Rek double dinks him taking him down. That might propel them into the site, but CJ gets two. Malbs and Rek dispatched. Wolfy, he'll grab his off, but in a 2 versus 3, might just cut the ties with the round. Yes, they will. Already jumping up towards Rugs. Nouns. A 3rd round on the board. Signs of life. The thing that worries me is that they're only finding inroads towards A. If M80 can fix that avenue, maybe put a 2nd player towards middle to support in addition to the 1 player A, so 2 middle, 1 A, something along those lines, something different, this hole could very quickly be patched up by the defense.
Yeah, I feel like that was more of a gamble round from M80. Push out because you don't have the best of weapons and see if it can work out. It did not. Now they're surely going to have half-buy. There should not be a full investment from the CT side here. Little bits and bobs around the M4 and the op saved. 5-7 for Rek. That's going to be it. Yeah, you got to be financially savvy here if you're M80. Don't give Nouns more room to destroy you. And in comes a fight towards middle. Swisher actually goes 1 for 1, but does so much damage onto the 2nd. Carson swings out wide, and Wolfy contains the man advantage at 1. Rek around, looking down. I think he's looking for a shadow. He's going to hear some sound cues and not going to aggress as his teammates are starting to push up through mid. Ace still seems to be the take for Nouns as they're setting up for their smokes to go on through. Rek probably wishing for reinforcements. Wolfy is down on the site as well with 1:10 on the clock. MarKE's ready to go on through. Flash doesn't connect. Wolfy does, however. And the 5-7 up close and personal. No surviving that, bwills. Sydney, the last one standing. 1v4 with an op. And surely they don't peek him. Surely they'll push him. Don't give him the 1v1s. Nate, we were talking about the Guardian 1v5 on T side with the op. I think that was today, actually. Or it's either today or yesterday. And why did that happen? They gave him the 1v1s.
Oh, I forgot our conversation about the GOAT oppers.
Yep.
Yeah, that bracket that people were making, and they put Guardian in the quarterfinals. Like, no, Guardian's the best.
Guardian and Kenny are the GOAT oppers of CSGO.
Yep, they had the highest peaks, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hot takes.
Those days were sick. Guardian versus Kenny. Those were the days.
Now, we did finally see the 1 versus 1 op duel. I wouldn't really call it a fair duel. But Wolfy did win it. And I said beforehand in the green room that I thought Wolfy might be outclassed. As it stands, I'm keeping track. It's a 1-0 in favor of Wolfy. Tactical pause coming out from Nouns. Good call now. I would say M80 are finally becoming wise to Nouns' tricks. They're finally realizing it's going to be an A play 9 times out of 10. So they have to be more proactive with their rotations.
I feel like Nouns need a default.
I think they're scared to do that. I think the early game really conditioned them with that aggressive style from Nouns, or the aggressive style from M80, excuse me. I feel like Nouns, if they put 2 players on one side of the map and 2 players on the other side of the map, they get really scared that they're going to lose 2 players for the price of 1. They feel very out of their element.
Yeah, that early aggression from M80 did force Nouns into a condition where they don't feel like they have the freedom to default. And rightfully so, because they were getting punished. Now Nouns are going back towards that default 1-1-3. But M80 are putting so much pressure in towards Canals. They're ready for this read. That nade not going to do anything. The Molotov will do a little bit, though. And that's more sound cue than anything else, that information. M80's so ready to go for this fight, though. Malb's not flashed in a dry fight. Perhaps not the most opportune way of going for fights, and CJ's going to get both. Finally, the trade was there, and wait, all 3 pushed out?
Yeah, to their deaths. Finally,
with no flashbangs, nothing.
Yes, that's kind of how they started this earlier game off. They won the duels by individual prowess alone. And it really did bite them in the butt here. It really did backfire in a big way. Nouns have a free escape back to A, but they are making very big adjustments that I would have thought more than necessary. They avoided Canals like the plague. They're finally back down and getting their feet wet, doing the dirty work. And they're holding their lanes. Very big double from CJ over towards B main.
This is a viable retake, though. Rek does have the kit. Swisher, though, drives into MarKE. Rek trades it 1v1 versus the opposite. He will not miss this time. Doubles up his kill count. That's another one to the Nouns round count. Good time to have some impact for Cynic on his VOP. In his return match to Nouns. You can't call it a debut, but it is a return.
It's a returning debut. Let's combine them.
Sure.
It's been a lengthy absence. He's long overdue a re-debut.
Yeah, he's been gone for a while, but now he's back. Back in blue, I should say. That's a chunky nade. Where did that go?
Not exactly certain, but
Now's probably E-box, I'm assuming.
more than likely. Aggression again from M80, this time towards Canal, so looking to snuff any sort of confidence out of Nouns towards that location. CJ might just find Swisher. Yes, he does. Good kill in response. Lots of map control to be gained from that kill. Wolfy is forced back away from B and all the way around towards A. This is what I'm talking about. Mid-round calls from M80. Quickly and proactively rotating towards A off that single kill middle. This is what they needed to try to stave off these A splits.
Yeah, it's a gamble, but it's an educated guess at this point. Rek is blind. How is he still alive? He does so much damage. Wolfy's going to take down MarKE in the meantime, but he does fall to Cynic off in the end. Malbs up close and personal with a Famas, winning 2 duels up towards heaven. And Cynic now in a 1v2. Both players low, but the op is a one-shot with everything. Not sure what Cynic has for a sidearm. He's going to get his timing with the utility in hand. Malbs mows him down. Op picked up to toss to his teammate. And Minx will grab an AK-47. Nouns will not be able to win this half as M80 grabs 8. Another bomb plant is solid. There needs to be more here. It's a good retake from M80. Their retakes on the A side have also been very strong. And come to think of it, Nate, Nouns have not planted the bomb on B.
No, yeah, that was my point. I don't think they ever actually got control of the B site ever.
No, they haven't.
Only been A.
Correct.
Always been off of that mid take as well, pretty much. 9 times, I think. How many times have they planted the bomb? I think it's maybe 5 times.
Maybe 5.
I think all 5 times, or at least 4 of the 5 times, they have taken mid prior to taking A. Team kill. CJ. Caught by Carson's Molotov in towards the middle. Rek on the A site. Won't be overwhelmed either. Finds one on the MP9. And Manx is dancing from T side middle with a T player inside middle. Carson dancing, not lasting long. He will fall. bwills in the meantime does drop mobs, sure. That gives him an M4 to work with, but he does not have a lot of space. He does not have the bomb. And MarKE is still only on a deagle.
Deagle, no armor. Not going to be the easiest to get anything out of this round for Nouns now. Even one more kill, probably a little bit too much to ask. M80 just have to hold their sights. Not over-aggress. Slow and steady wins the race, but eventually the time runs out. And the op holding the angle, no utility to force it off. This should be free for Wolfy. There's the first, goes back for the second, misses the second shot, and the long-range duel will favor bwills on the M4. Wolfy solo on health, run down by the Tech 9. That's 2 for bwills and a bomb plant. They're first on the B site. Time, bwills has his bomb down, the MP9 running wild, and a wreck will save the day. A very awkward finish to what should have been a clean victory for M80, but 9 on the board nonetheless. They should be fine.
It should be okay. But if Nouns can win this round, they'll hamstring the economy going into the finals. That would give them a prime opportunity to find 6 in this half. That would be a more than serviceable recovery given how this first map started, but M80 are really finding their groove. Swisher at 15, Malbs at 13, MarKE as well, also at 13 kills. Every individual from M80 really pulling their weight. You could say Mangster isn't as much, but he's the IGL, and he's getting kills when necessary.
Yeah, I mean, he's not had to do too much, has he?
No, he's 4 and 4.
Come
Like
through.
he's just lived.
Yeah. He's died every time they've lost, and that's it. Every time they've won a round, he's survived.
Ooh!
That's nice from MarKE. It's a great shot right there.
We didn't even react. He just caught, dead to rights, fair and square. It was a quick shot coming in from MarKE. I like the angle as well, coming up on top of the boat, forcing that player to flick up their crosshair to get the actual kill. MarKE now is going to be tested in a big way on the back of sight. They know he's here. MarKE's on top of the flat. He's looking hot. Can he find the kill? Found the first, not the second. Oh, he does! And CJ in the meanwhile drops Manx. It's a tremendous individual performance from MarKE that gives them the 5 versus 1. He really wants that 5th and that subsequent 6 as well. So that star rifle we talked about before in the 1 versus 5. He'll find the first, sure, but he's not going to be allowed to find anything else. Good trade from CJ. And Nouns are now looking primed and ready to take a 6th.
All they have to do is not get obliterated by some 5.7s and Deagles. You wanted to see what they could do with the pistols, Nate. You're going to get that opportunity here and now. It's not going to be easy up against the AKs, the op for Cynic. Primarily MarKE rifling like that one. Lots of damage taken by Swisher and Manx, though, down to about half HP. A little bit above for Swish, a little bit below for Manx. 2 5.7s. Chunking that early damage. A heavy A-lean again from Nouns.
Who would have guessed? Not me.
I could never have guessed either.
We need to work on their variety of play. I guess it's just the comfort. It comes back to the comfort. New IGLs we mentioned, tempered expectations. I think M80 are doing very well to punish that. But the firepower, the riflery could definitely give them the edge they need. Good tag onto MarKE. MarKE, though, does impart a parting gift. A dink onto 1. The second player, though, fares no better. Swisher caught in the blink of an eye. It's a 3 versus 5. Malbs, Manx, and Wolfy. No reason to save. The question is, can they unseat the player in middle? bwills finds 1. bwills still alive as well. Still a thorn in their side, finding Wolfy. It's just Malbs again, that star player alone. Not for long either. 9-6, a very nice half as we head into the break. Nouns, they stem the bleeding. They bring us to that nice scoreline, 9-6. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs. And Nouns, I think the consensus here in the desk is we're cautiously Nouns-ish after the end of that first half. They stem the bleeding. MarKE in a tremendous individual performance from him as well. Saw a couple double kills coming in from CJ as well, if I'm not mistaken. So the individuals are beginning to heat up. The question is, can they bring that same heat to the defensive side?
That's a big question. It's a huge question mark, and it's going to be a big test right now. Carson with the dualies does start it off well. MarKE with one more, but Malbs and Rek trade this one back to a level 3v3 and are getting the bomb down. That's a big win for the T side, and Rek's up close and personally spotted. Can he win the fight? No. The dualies in the hands of bwills will be too much firepower to put down. Wolfy and Malbs, now the last two standing, both on Glocks, neither with armor. It's going to come down to the dinks, the headshots. Wolfy doing damage, but not enough for the kill. Malbs 1v3, one tap on CJ. Not the second on the bwills, but it was close. There's the second tap. All he needs is one more. Cynic with no kit. Time is not there. He does get the kill, but Malbs wins the round, and M80 will get up to double digits first here on Anubis. And what took Nouns almost the entire half to do, M80 accomplished in the first round of the half. Bomb plan on B.
Exactly. And I must say, I think Malbs is grinning more than that spray he placed down on the wall right there. A 1 versus 3 in that kind of style. 2 Glock 1 taps. Precision shots coming in from the doctor. He has an MD after all. Do have a pause called. It looks to be a technical pause, but I'm not absolutely certain. But one thing is for certain, M80 over the moon with that one, and also bringing rifles into the following.
Yeah, definitely a good start for M80 here. Nouns will not be reinvesting heavily into this one. It does appear to be a technical pause, so should be a bit of time here before we get back into it. Not sure how much time, but at least some.
We're in the dark, so we wait. Wait patiently. Don't have too much to go off of, but M80 specifically, I'm going to guess the bulk of their strategy and the bulk of the reason they chose this map is their T side.
I would assume so. Their T side was very good when I saw them against Reason, and I'm expecting to see somewhat of the same here and now. I will say though, Nate, you said we're in the dark? I was born in the darkness. I didn't see the light of day until I was a man.
I want the whole soliloquy, please. Keep going. It's not as good as your Yoda impression, but
it's not.
It's up there. It's up there. We'll give that one a. We'll give it a straight passing C on the Boggs impression tier list.
I'll take it. I got to work on my Bane.
We really, if you had a cup, something like that, like one of those.
Oh yeah.
That really does help. Maybe even a little water in the bottom. Got to do some practical effects, I think, with the voice. And one thing we have neglected to mention, Boggs, is that there is another game running simultaneously. It's a double elimination bracket with 4 teams, and both of the opening matchups are live. Currently, you're with us, and you're stuck with us. But if you wanted to theoretically also watch Complexity versus Forsaken, you can also go to ESL TVC to catch that action as another banger of a matchup. They are basically at the exact same spot we are in terms of round count. They're at the halftime, 5-10 in favor of Complexity on Vertigo. They got another very interesting map pool as well, Boggs. It's not the traditional Overpass, Mirage, Inferno. It's Vertigo, Nuke, and Ancient. So we're getting a lot of treats today.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that a little bit. I like the Ancient coming through for sure. I like Ancient. I mean, we got to sit there and watch. We got to see it was Ents versus FaZe on LAN in quintuple, sextuple overtime on Ancient. But this one's taking a bit, folks, so we're going to hit to the magical pause. When we come back, we will have the conclusion of Anubis, and hopefully we'll have Mirage right after that. So stick around and stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Sound of thunder.
a brief delay, but we are back nonetheless. Some technical problems for one of the players in the server, but it looks like those issues have been rectified, and M80 can start right back where they left off with, once again, to remind everybody, a 1 versus 3 Malbs pistol victory. He did die in the end, but got more than enough time for the victory overall. 10-6, rifles and a MAC-10 for the attacking side, and a couple pistols, an MP9 and a scout. A full investment, barring Cynic, for the defense of Nouns.
Yeah, Cynic saving for the op, everybody else going all in. Utility going in towards the A side, but still alert towards B. Nouns might get baited into this as they were so prone to hit the A site. They might think the same of M80's strategy. Rack making a lot of noise at this point. If I'm Nouns, I'm thinking this is probably a fake. He's just making a whole bunch of racket. And there's no actual bite behind this bark. It's a distraction. Lots of mid control, though, for Nouns, and that could help them with a fast rotation to what is essentially a wide open B site. Just Carson on a scout in a very close angle, takes a peek, gets spotted, goes back for more. There is a smoke out to ward off the entry, but they're going to go on through. He splits the goalpost. Down goes bwills, and Malbs falls up as well. Cynic's got one on the dualies. Swisher picks up 2 on the flank hold. Wolfy has to do it on the site with the Galil. The bomb in his possession. He will dive back onto the site proper. Swisher holding his back, allowing the bomb to go down and covering up for more. He picks up 2. Wolfy's got to do it now. 1v2 to a 1v1. Make it a 1v none. Because M80 are up 11-6 now to the back of the technical timeout. Swisher, so much work done there to be able to even give Wolfy a winnable situation. But I do agree with this tactical pause here for M80. Because that was not a clean round by any stretch of the imagination. And it got way messier than it had any business being.
So much messier. With just pistols, a scout, an MP9, and things oh so very nearly went completely wrong. They got the bomb plant. They got the round in the end. That's important, but they can't have a round such as that with such stacked odds spiral out of control like it did in that very last round. Slow things down, talk things out. Give yourself a moment to breathe, because I'm sure the nerves got up there a little bit there. And talk things out, because Nouns, they're compelled to go for a force buy in response. They're compelled, given the damage they did. And so they will do exactly that. Cynic, he saved for an op. Instead, he's going to splurge onto the hero rifle here in round number 18. We're going to have some pistols, an MP9, a scout. This buy very evocative of what we saw in the round prior. And Nouns, they could very well put the pieces together this time.
Either they put the pieces together, or their puzzle gets thrown into the trash. Swisher and Wreck demolishing it. Nouns, they had some of the puzzle. They had the border connected, Nate. And M80 just came in and brushed it all onto the floor and started jumping on the pieces. This one, it's already over. It's 12 on the board for 80. And bwills is not going to be allowed to save either. He tries to get a punish, and Wreck denies.
It's going to punish, and also that now makes a lot of room for M80. Kind of cross off quite a few areas on the map. Doesn't seem like they're too keen on hunting. They don't know that Cynic has a rifle, for example. So if they had that prior knowledge, maybe they would go for a more proactive and aggressive post plant. But they shall not, given that lack of information. The M4 will be saved, as will a Deagle, along with utility. But M80 are inching closer and closer to victory here on their own map pick. 4 rounds separate them from Mirage.
And Mirage is going to be interesting because the aim duels have been heavily favoring M80. And that is the most important part of Mirage. That's what typically makes Nouns so good on. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Opening fight taken by CJ. He lines up 2 and almost grabs a 3rd. Wolfy down very low. Swisher tagged as well. And Wreck brings this to a level 3v3. Nouns trying to put something together here with nothing to work with. That would be huge. Those 2 saved guns, though, removed. 1 is recovered. And M80 have an open A site to exploit Wreck in rotation. We'll see. Does Nouns read this? Do Nouns read this rotation? They've completely left the site proper, which is a big issue.
2 smokes left for retake. No
Only
kid as
one
far
guy
as I can
armor,
tell.
though.
Yeah. 1 guy armor, and of course, no kits. There's a lot of implications to come from this round. MarKE, though, a flank. You asked, was this expected? Was this going to be played around? And it looks like MarKE has made the right rotation. Down below and towards canals, he'll find one. He'll guarantee an advantage going into the retake. Carson spamming through the smoke. Does not quite connect with the bomb planter. But he maintains control of this area of the map. That's a very crucial area to contest. And there we go. He'll finally find that kill onto Wolfy. It leaves just Swisher. He's been a shining star. 20 kills to his name. But a 1 versus 3 in the final round would be huge. First kill, second kill secured. And he gets away to add to boot. It's just bwills above, and he knows where he is. Swisher hits the spray. It's a 1 versus 3 for the star from M80. We said malbs was the star, but this roster is star-studded. Individual prowess shining through. Swisher now 23 kills to his name, 110 ADR, and a 13th round on the board for M80.
Holy moly, swish! Mikey! Double taps on the first 2 and then in the fire for the last. He doesn't even need to rise from the ashes. He doesn't become ash. He just rises. That was beautiful work from Swisher around the pillar. And M80 can thank him with that victory. Now, he might need a little help this time because he's tagged down early. But geez Louise, was that a beautifully played bit of work there individually from Swisher. And yeah, as you said, it's a star-studded lineup. We can call malbs the star. We can call Swisher the star. We can call Rec the star as well. And we've seen moments where Wolfy is considered the star. There's one from Rec, a nice headshot onto an aggressing MarKE. Snakes does go down. Rec will also fall. Now it's a man advantage for Nouns. Wolfy, though, he strikes right back. Ties things up at 3-all. M80 with a very large amount of space to be acquired. And Nouns with a lot of time to sweat out here before they can start to really lock things down. And bwills at 19 HP does not make things any easier for him. Only 1 on the B side proper. Carson needs at least 1, and he needs to buy time. He's done just that. He doubles it up. Massive work from the in-game leader.
Massive work leaves Wolfy, the opera in a 1 versus 3. He'd prefer to have a rifle in this situation, but you know what? At least he has the bomb on his back. Gives him some options if he wants to go for it. But 20 seconds left. He's in T-spawn. It's probably going to be a save. He should have 1 free kill. Oh, he misses the shot. This could be an opportunity for bwills, and it is. A stellar round from him. 3 kills in this one. As he's beginning to wake up for the likes of Nouns. I was worried coming into this round box. I really didn't get to articulate it because the round prior was so fiery hot, so chaotic. But the buys from Nouns on that half investment were very interesting. You talked about CJ having a saved rifle. He didn't save it. He bought it. He had 650 in the bank. So he somehow got a rifle into that last round, and I thought it would be punished. I thought the economy and the lack of utility might play a factor, but really doesn't matter when a player like bwills is fiery hot with 3 kills.
And another tech pause, too. Was ping spiking the last one. I'm assuming it's the same thing again. We might end up getting a server swap here, given this continuing forward. Oh, boy. What a momentum killer, too, for Nouns, because they just get a big round victory. And, yeah, tech pause right afterwards.
It's unfortunate, but it was a hero win for the most part. bwills finding 3 kills. Winning that duel against the op at the end as well should not have been expected. Slow things down. What worked out? Putting 2 towards A early on really did pay off there. Look for those early fights from M80 perhaps. Contest somewhere, but don't contest everywhere. Point in a direction and go in that direction. Don't just spread out willy-nilly. Nouns can definitely glean something from this and take this moment to think things through. Looks like we are having a bit of a match medic, if I had to guess. But hopefully that's a sign that things have been fixed.
Yeah, that sounds like a medic. It looks like a medic. There we are. Back into it. So this time, a much more abbreviated break than the last one. But malbs and manx Deagle and a Tech 9 respectively. A Galil for Rec. Far from ideal for M80. Nouns have a good opportunity here to at least claw to within about 4 rounds here. If they could win this one, they reset M80 and should have a nice, easy road to a 9th. That's a good bit of nade damage, and even better from Carson spamming into Canals. Swisher is removed. That is a gun to be salvaged for M80, but the lack of a player not going to be helpful. Makes one, but traded out by CJ. Molotov forces him away. He cannot escape. Rec can get 2, but bwills drops down and drops him. Cynic. bwills, though, from E-Box. He'll get them both. Back-to-back hat tricks from bwills. And he's stepping up in a big way for Nouns when they need a hero.
Double up secured as well. True hero for his team. That's 6 kills in the last 2 rounds, as you mentioned. That double op secured now between Carson and Cynic. Both will hopefully be able to pop off individually with those weapons. If they're able to do so, we have an exciting game in our hands. Only 5 rounds separate these teams. M80 are on a save. And Nouns will be finding their footing at that stage. Things could look a lot more interesting than they appeared just a couple rounds prior. Carson hopping towards E-boxes, looking for the opening. No one's peeking, but no one's too aggressive either. There's a peek. Carson times everything. He doesn't peek deeply enough. This Tech 9 could undo him. Did he spot the shoulder? It seems like he did. The USP's in hand, but duel won't come. He falls away. The Molotov compels him forward. It's 2 with the pistols, answered by 2 with the rifle. Swisher, though, he will direct the aggression. He drops Cynic. That leads us to a very chaotic 3 versus 2 as the A site falls. Wolfy, another towards the exit sign. It's just CJ. And right as we were singing their praises, right as we said Nouns were at a turning point, the door is slammed in their face.
They lose to pistols, no armor. Oh no, not like this, Nouns. I don't think there's a noun to describe this, but there's plenty of adjectives. Oh boy, this is just heaping coals upon the head of Nouns.
Say shambolic. Have some adjectives. You yeah. That's an OG. That's an OG.
That is.
Back in our old vernacular, back in the old days.
The old days being like 2 years ago.
It's like 3 or 4. Come on. It's not only 2 years ago.
It would be 3 years ago, Nate.
Yeah. It was when the other one came out.
We're old. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy how time flies.
Mother of pearl.
Regardless of if you're having fun or not, it just flies. It's crazy.
Because of that thing they call CERN over there, they sped up time, gosh darn it.
Yes, they did. This is an interesting buy. Both teams investing. There are some compromises for Nouns, though. The FAMAS for Carson, the MP9 for bwills can definitely work out, especially if they play individually as they have been for the last couple. Carson through the smoke drops Manx. That's exactly the start they need in this kind of compromised investment. That's Manx taken down. He wasn't needed as much in the first half. It would be nice for him to heat up here and now, wake up a little bit more, find a couple more kills, but stands. His team is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for him. M80 slowly getting control of middle. Is just Swisher lying on his lonesome. A fake towards A, it appears, while the bomb lurks out B main.
Ooh. Wolfy just narrowly missing the opportunity there. Swisher's making all this noise up mid, trying to get an inroad. In comes a push. Rec only able to get 1. So it's still a man disadvantage for M80, but now it's a little more known that it's going to be a retake. CJ around the pillar, dinked but not dropped. Wolfy trades it with 1. Now the E-box player, Carson, shut down by Swisher. B site open, bomb to go down. Cynic making his way on through, op in hand. Around the obelisk, the bomb goes planted. And there's a gap in the smoke, exploited by Cynic, but a flashbang allows the cross. Surely that's expected. But Wolfy around the smoke capitalizes on bwills pushing in. Cynic, do you go? Do you save the op? There is no money for Nouns. There is a very low percentage 1v2 for Cynic at hand. He loses the op. Nouns have nothing. And he realizes that now. He's playing for exits, which is still a little more aggressive than probably is prudent. He's bailing out now. And M80, 1 round away from seeing their map pick. And when you think about it, this could have been so much closer if Nouns would have converted against the pistols of M80.
If they converted against the pistols, if they found the 1 versus 3, there's a whole lot of situations where this game could have very quickly gone in another direction. M80, though, I gotta praise them. When they're a man down, they spread out. They take individual agency. They look to make plays. Talking about Nouns in that first half, they were scared of the aggression. They grouped up. They tried the death ball. And it worked out towards A at least a couple times. But this individual agency that we're seeing from M80 speaks miles more to the comfortability of M80 and shows us why they are finding so much success as individuals and as a unit.
M80 are just doing the right things. They're winning their individual duels. They're supporting each other well when they need to. The spacing has been quite good in 1v, or not 1vx, but in like 2v3s, 4v3s. The way they've been playing off of each other has been very fun to watch. And even though they've lost that Canals fight very early, very often, it hasn't hampered them at all. Swisher gets dinked out towards middle, and this probably won't affect M80 too much. They still have that buddy system in effect. They still have the ability to make successful situations from these disadvantageous ones. The op watching that Canals run, there's another point to add to the exhibit. Let's call it Exhibit E at this point. And Nouns are stuck in mid. They don't really have a lot of actual control. And Rex just going to lurk his way out onto A and cause chaos. That's his job. Distract, buy time. Manx gets one. Wolfy trades it with a no-scope headshot. That's going to be the B side open. Bomb going down. Rek can still harass over towards A. They know exactly where Nouns can be coming from. And Wolfy's trained on the first angle. Sydney jumps in. The jump actually throws Wolfy off and opens up a little bit of opportunity for Nouns.
Gives them one more angle to press forward upon, but there's still more choke points to get out of and a plethora of players ready to greet them. bwills walking forward. Time is out the essence at this point. Bomb halfway gone. Swisher nets the first. Wolfy the second. And Cynic, he does find one first trouble. The second, but still 2 more to find. He walks into the angle, doesn't hit the shot. Swisher caps it off. 27 kills for him in the first map. A star-studded performance highlights the scoreboard for M80. Everybody finding their marks individually and as a unit. As you mentioned, the spacing, even in disadvantaged situations, is very good. The individual agency combined with the overall team play